Madhyoli Charanam, Jai Nandalala, everybody. Welcome to another session where today we're going to talk about Kedarnath, all the way to the north. From last week, we spoke about Tiruvannamalai and we wrapped it off, and now we're going directly to the north to Kedarnath. I was actually waiting to speak about this beautiful Jyothirlingam. And this is, of course, one of the 12 Jyothirlingams where the Lord appeared as light, Jyoti. So he appeared as Jyoti, and let's see how he came to be. As always, I say, let's go to the roots. And here, of course, there are 12 Jyothirlingams in various places. He has appeared as the column of light, as Jyoti. Now, what does Kedar mean? Kedar means field, luscious field. So Kedarnath is the Lord of the fields, the Lord of the meadows. So that is what it actually means. Now, of course, we know this place is, it's so beautiful. It's full of mountains, and especially when there is snow, the snow-capped mountains, and the whole path that you trek to go to this beautiful, the Lord's abode is. It's a journey you'll never, ever forget, because that's how beautiful it is. It's the grassy meadows, so beautiful and scenic. You don't want to come back, is what I've heard from a lot of people who have traveled and gone to this place. Always want to go back. Now, if you go to the Sthala Puranam, that is the story behind this place, how this place came to be, we have to go all the way to the Mahabharata times. When the Kurukshetra war was done, after the big Mahabharata war was done, of course, the Pandavas got their kingdom, they're happy. Yudhishthira is the king. Everything is going well. But then later, Lord Krishna is gone, right? Lord Krishna leaves. After that, the Pandavas are very lonely, very lonely. You know, they always say whether, even when the lords had to, take a life or end, if, for instance, they killed Asura or whatever, but they had to come and do prayaschitta. And we have seen that now and again, every time, we have seen that with Lord Rama, where he came to Rameshwaram and installed a lingam and prayed to Lord Shiva and got himself rid of that sin, right? Or that mukti from that prayaschittam, they say, right? So he got mukti from that. Hatya, Even Ganesha did that. Murugan, all of them have done it. When we have gone through these stories one by one, we have seen that continuation where everybody have come, installed the lingam, prayed to the Lord and got mukti from that sin that they committed. So nobody can get away with the sin. That's what I'm trying to say. Pandavas also killed. Yes, they killed on Lord Krishna's guidance. They did everything what Lord Krishna told them. But still, Prayashchittam was needed because inside they were very restless. After Lord Krishna left, they were very restless. They wanted to get peace. The peace of mind comes only when the Lord gives it to you. That is what is called mukti, right? And so they wanted that peace. So they went and talked to their guru. Where do you go? When you want peace, you always run to your guru, right? That is why the guru is such an important link between us and the Lord. The Guru is very important. If you catch the Guru's feet, you don't have to worry. You go straight to the Lord. Of course, the Guru matters. Who is your Guru? All that matters. And the Guru seeks you. You don't seek your Guru. All this I keep repeating every time, right? It's the same thing. It's the truth. And that's why repetition is very easy. When you repeat the truth, it's easy. So the Pandavas ran to their Guru for help because they don't know where to find peace. They wanted that calm state of mind, which they had not got. They don't have it. So their Guru advised them, go to Kedarnath. Go seek Lord Shiva. He will give you mukthi, the Guru says. So that is Rishi Vyasa. He advises them to go to Kedarnath. Now they all walk towards Kashi because that is the first place. All the 6 of them, that is the Pancha Pandavas and Draupadi. Okay, 6 of them go to Kashi first. They couldn't find Lord Shiva. Shiva is not there. Lord Shiva is missing. When I say missing, he is there, but not visible to them. That is what missing means. So it's actually, this part is beautifully explained in one of the books when I read about, Ramayana. When Rama, they say, was hiding and he attacked Vali, correct? So he was not hiding. He was just not visible to Vali. That is the fact, The Lord doesn't have to hide. That is why, the song, Kannukku Ariyada, that Kurayondrum Illai, there is a stanza where she says, Kannukku Theriyama Nirkindrai, Kanna. So that itself shows you're there, but we are not able to see you. So this is what happened to them when they went in search of Lord Shiva. He was there, but they couldn't see him. You can see the Lord only when you have cleansed your inside. So Vali was not clean. He couldn't see the Lord. The Pandavas, they came for that purpose. They were so confused. That state of mind, you cannot see the Lord. You cannot. So they couldn't see him. They looked for him in Kashi. They couldn't see him. So they kept walking towards Kedarnath. When they went to Kedarnath, but there also they couldn't find him. They couldn't find the Lord there either. So they all decided, okay, let's sit and do penance. That's what the Lord loves. Penance is hard to do. Okay, let's all sit and do penance. And they all sat in that cold, severe weather. And they all sat and did penance to the Lord. As we all know, Lord Shiva is very kind. He's the kindest of them all, right? So he came. He immediately showed up. And he said, what can I do for you? They all just fell at his feet. And they said, we want peace of mind. We want mukti from this. We did a sin. We killed. We want mukti from that. Only you can give us that. He said, definitely, I can give you that. And they said, here, the Pancha Pandavas got mukti. So they requested the Lord that he would stay there and do the same for everybody else in future. Whoever comes there, will get that peace of mind. So they asked for us all. So the Lord immediately agreed and came as a Jyothi. And that is the Lingam there. That is why it is Swayambhu Lingam, because the Lord himself came to be there. Now the Lingam is like a pyramid rock here. It's not like a usual Lingam. It's like a pyramid rock here. And the Pandavas then after built a temple around that Lingam that the Lord came and formed over there. And the Lord also said that you will have to build 4 more places where I will go, and you will find Swayambhu Lingams everywhere there, and you will have to build temples. And that is what is called Pancha Kedar Dham. So there are 5 of them like this that the Pandavas have built. Okay, so this is Kedarnath. There is Tunganath. There's Rudranath, Madhya Maheshwar, and Kalpeshwar. These are the 5 temples that the Pandavas built. Then, after that, they got mukti. This is how beautiful. Of course, now when we talk about this temple and everything, right? The scientists say that they were not able to say the exact age of this temple. And the stone sediments and all that, they all do these experiments and see. It states that it's more than 1,000 years old. Now, Adi Shankara, during his time, also had a big hand in constructing this temple. He also had a big hand during his time. So the scientists say that whoever built, that's one thing they say, whoever built this temple is a genius. And why? Because it's standing like a rock, even more than a rock. It's standing there, even in severe weather conditions. It has seen so many weathers. It has seen so many extreme weathers. And it is standing there like the Lord. What else? That is the Lord. So they have seen all these safety precautions and built it in a beautiful way. And that is why they say whoever built is a genius. Again, I know I'm repeating this every time, but whenever our temples come as a subject, I've always said that our temples are built by the divine themselves. And that is why every time, now and again, we keep repeating the same thing, that this architecture, only a genius can build. Any temple for that matter. We're talking about Kedarnath, but I think this goes to any temple. Now, the temple is built with strong pieces of the mountain rock. In those days, can you think about how they would have cut the rock in that height? What machine? When you go into the details of understanding this, you cannot comprehend it really. It doesn't sit well. You cannot come to any conclusions. It's like a mystery unsolved. You don't have to try and solve it. It's pretty obvious, right? That the Lord himself has done it. Through the instrument. That's important. The Lord himself has done it through his instrument. He picked the Pandavas. And of course, Adi Shankara also had a hand. Who's Adi Shankara? Lord Shiva himself. So we see this pattern, right? Now, there's another study that the temple was buried in snow, okay, ice for 400 years. And this also, they have, the marks are left in the temple, and there are evidences that prove this incident. More and more you'd get to know this temple. It gets to you. And it's, of course, at an elevation of 11,755 feet above sea level. In the mighty Himalayas. And it's one of the Jyothirlingams. There's a beautiful river that flows beside this temple, the Mandakini river. It flows so peacefully. And that sound in that height with the Lord. Wow. Just take a moment and just think about it. The whole scene kind of just pulls you in like a magnet and puts you in a trance. Of course, that's why he's called the Lord of the Meadows, Kedarnath. And what is the crop that is grown here? The crop of liberation. Mukthi. That is what grows here. Right? Now, the small hall in front of the temple has images of Parvati and the Pandavas. Now, there's a grand Nandi outside the temple. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. Every time we see these pictures of Kedarnath, he stands out. Nandi stands out beautifully. So much of calmness that Nandi has. I mean, every Nandi has that, but just saying, he's a metal. He's made of metal. The temple is opened from April until November. And the idol is after that shifted to Ukimat, Omkareshwar temple. It is about 47 kilometers. And they walk all this distance. It's a procession. They take the Lord from Kedarnath in a procession and go to Ukimat. The priest, after that, from there, when they come back to Kedarnath, the priest offer a special prayer and to mark the journey, the beginning of the journey. And then they again start procession back to Kedarnath. Now, that'll be in April again. So, now Ukimat, of course, the Lord is brought in a palanquin, and of course, there's a lot of bhajans, and it's beautiful. They show that live actually sometimes. You could actually go on YouTube and watch it. It's always a live event. Sometimes they have mentioned it in the news also, because this is a big thing. The Lord coming back to Kedarnath is a big thing. Now, Ukimat gets his name from Ushamat, named after the demon Banasura's daughter Usha. Now, Usha marries Anirudh. Anirudh is Lord Krishna's grandson. I know it's too much information all at once, but we'll get into the details in a bit. So Lord Krishna obviously had a grandson. And so the idol is brought to this Ushamat from Kedarnath, after which he's worshipped in this place until he goes back to Kedarnath. This is during that peak winter time. The idol is shifted to Ushamat. That is 47 kilometers from Kedarnath. Like I said, it's a procession. In a procession, they bring the idol. Let's get to the details. Banasura. I said Usha is the daughter of Banasura. Who is Banasura? Where did he come from? Who is he? Great-grandson of Prahlada. Who is Prahlada? Prahlada is the one thing that we remember is he's a small boy who Lord Narayana loves. And whenever we see the small kids sitting on Lord Narasimha, that is the first picture of Prahlada that I can think of. The dearest devotee, the only person who could calm the Lord at that highest peak of anger. There's so much love that Prahlada, the Lord had for Prahlada, that every deva is there, even goddess Lakshmi, asked Prahlada to approach the Lord when he was in such a angry mode, when nobody had the courage. And immediately he melted when he saw Prahlada. That is the Prahlada. When Prahlada is mentioned, that is what I remember. And I'm sure you all know Prahlada. Who doesn't know Prahlada? So, Banasura, he is related to Prahlada. He is the great-grandson of the great devotee Prahlada, who's a devotee of Lord Narayana. Who is Banasura again? Whose son is he? Banasura is the son of the great king Mahabali. Again, related to Prahlada. He's the grandson of Prahlada. Who is Mahabali? Mahabali is also great. Who doesn't know Mahabali? The same Mahabali who Lord Vishnu came as Vamana avatar and tricked him. Mahabali was a great devotee of Lord Narayana. Being an Asura, right? Being an Asura, he was a great devotee of Lord Narayana. It's very, doesn't go together, right? Because Lord Narayana is so tough to please. So Asuras don't want to go at that path, in that path, they want easy. Easy to please is Lord Shiva. But Mahabali was a great devotee of Lord Narayana. And he came in the form of Vamana Avataram, that is small boy. He came as a small boy just because Mahabali had won over all the heavens and everything. Lord Indra was thrown out of the throne. He was not anymore the king of the Devas. He was thrown out of the throne. But Mahabali was such a good king. That's why Lord Narayana didn't do anything, though the Devas were out of their throne. Lord Narayana was like, he's happy because he was his devotee. The Lord Indra's mother had to do a special penance and win over Lord Narayana again, please Lord Narayana again, and asked him the boon of going and giving her son the kingdom back. Who? Lord Indra. She asked for Lord Indra's throne back. What does that mean? To pull Mahabali down, to defeat Mahabali. Once a boon is asked, it has to be done. She did her penance. Unfortunately, Mahabali is the king of the Asuras. That is where the problem starts, right? Which side are you on? And who is your guru? Who is Mahabali's guru? Shukracharya. Shukracharya always will see the benefit of the Asuras. He will always want the asuras to win, always want the asuras to get more powerful than the devas. Then how can Lord Vishnu support Mahabali? Unfortunately, his guru is Shukracharya. So he had no other go. He said, okay, I will do what I can. And that's how he takes the Vamana avataram and he comes in. He walks into the palace of Mahabali. He was just one yagna away from becoming the most powerful. Nobody could defeat him, that kind of a thing. Because Shukracharya had said, if you do this one more, then you are the ruler. Nobody can take you down. So he was just a little bit away from that. And this Lord walks in. Timing. He walks in and Mahabali is very generous. He comes in and he asks, I want something from you. The Raja says, of course, ask me anything. And the beauty is this boy looks so beautiful. He's like shining. So a lot of times, Shukracharya immediately knew. The beauty is he took him out inside. He asked Mahabali, please come here. I need to talk to you. And he pulled him aside. He said, that is not a small boy. That is Lord Vishnu. He's come to take your kingdom. He's come to take everything. Don't accept. You know what Mahabali said? That's Lord Vishnu. Why would he come and ask me anything? He already has everything. Well, let's say it is Lord Vishnu. He's come and asked me something. It's my duty to give it. It's the Lord. How much bhagyam that the Lord himself has come and he's asking me something. Shukracharya was speechless. It's like I'm dealing with a fool, according to him. So he comes and he asks the boy and he asks for 3 foot land. And Mahabali laughs. 3 foot land. He says, yes, I just want to sit there and meditate, he says. The small boy. I just want 3 foot land. 3 feet land. I just want that much. Just the portion for me to meditate. Take it. Mahabali says, take it. We know the story. We know the later part of the story. He was pushed down to the Padala Loka with the 3rd feet. He says, please put it on my head. The generosity of Mahabali. The Lord was so pleased. That's where he got the boon. See, a lot of asuras ask for this boon. I want immortal. I want to be immortal, right? This is what all the asuras ask. Mahabali never asked for it, but he got it. Lord Vishnu said, you will be Chiranjeevi. Though Lord Vishnu snatched everything from him, he gave him much more. Well, all this happened when Mahabali's son, Banasura, that we're talking about today, right now, Banasura was watching all this. Watching as all this is unfolding right in front of his eyes. Where his father was pushed down. He only saw the outer layer of it. He saw what Lord Vishnu took away from his father, but he never saw what his father gained from it. He didn't see. He just saw that the Lord came, the Lord who his father prayed to every day, every night. He was a big devotee of Lord Vishnu, but the Lord Vishnu himself came and cheated him. That's what his son registered, unfortunately. So after all this, Banasura, obviously, he was not a big fan of Lord Vishnu. He didn't want anything to do with Lord Vishnu. He switched to Lord Shiva. That's how you take revenge, right? You shift to the other Lord. Yeah, I'm not going to be your devotee anymore. I'm going to pray to Lord Shiva from now on. But what did Mahabali gain? He gained so much. Like I said, he gained Chiranjeevi status, right? Hanuman has it. And a lot of other people have it. Markandeya and all that. See, so he being an asura, he is among those beautiful gems. Of course, even Shukracharya didn't get anything. Though he warned him, you lose everything. He gained more than whatever those boons that they asked could gain. Blind faith is what Mahabali had. Though he knew the Lord came to snatch everything, he happily gave it to him. We should learn from that. And that's a lesson we should all learn. Now, back to Banasura. So Banasura was a big devotee of Lord Shiva. We know why. So he did a big penance. Of course, Lord Shiva is the kindest one. He came. He showed up. And he asked him, what can I do for you? What do you want? And Banasura was thinking a lot. Why ask for no man, no animal, no thing, not that thing and all should kill me? Let's go straight to the point. He said, Lord, I want you to be the guardian outside my palace. I want you to stand there as my God. If you stand there as my God, then no one can attack me. He went a step ahead, isn't he? I mean, who has thought about that, right? Lord Shiva is standing there. And obviously, if you've done the penance, you earn the boon, right? Whatever is asked has to be given. So he said, okay, I'll stand outside and be the guard for your palace. Poor Lord. Poor Lord is now outside the palace of Banasura, guarding the palace. Banasura is fearless. He has no fear now. The Lord of the Lord is outside his palace guarding. What does he have to fear for? Who does he have to fear for? He's rejoicing. He's inside partying all day and night, drinking. And after a point, you get bored, right? Same routine every day. You get bored. No war, no action. All the muscles are weak. The asuras need to, go and punch people. No action, right? It's boring. And why is it become boring? Because the Lord is outside. Who will come to fight? No one is coming. No wars. No problems. Panasura is like, he's got bored. He goes outside. And he's looking at the Lord and he's saying, I'm very bored. It's like, it's very monotonous now. I don't like this. The Lord is like, okay. He says, Panasura is like, I just want to fight someone. Maybe someone maybe you. No. Maybe someone as powerful as you. Lord Shiva smiles. He's thinking inside, yeah, just what I thought. Just what I wanted you to say. It's all planned, isn't it? So Lord Shiva says, yes, your wish will be fulfilled very soon. So Manasura's like, okay, I'm excited. So I'll be fighting someone as powerful as you. He, confirms. The Lord says, yes, you will be soon fighting someone as powerful as me. That's what you want. And then he's like, okay, so when is it going to happen? Anytime soon? Because I'm bored. The Lord says, it'll happen soon. Is there a sign? Like, I need a sign so I can be prepared, he says. Well, when the flag post that you see over there, when it breaks, you know he's on the way. Okay. He says, thank you. And he goes back inside. Now the background. How does this unfold? Who is this person? As equal, as powerful as Lord Shiva, who's going to come and fight Banasura. Now Banasura has a daughter. We all know Usha, right? She is beautiful like a lotus flower. She's beautiful. Now Banasura knows that she's beautiful and he doesn't want any devas to even, look at her. He doesn't want any devas getting married. So he hid her in a fort. She's not allowed to come out. He provided everything in the fort. Everything. For her, the garden, the pond, even he has provided everything. It's like a mountain. Everything she wants is inside that fort. She doesn't have to come out. And all her friends, they're also there in the fort with her. Well, you can block everything physically, right? Can you block the mind? How does the Lord enter? Through the mind. Now she gets a dream. She gets a dream of this beautiful, handsome prince. She has no idea who this is. Every day she's dreaming of this beautiful prince. He's so handsome. And she gets up and she tells her friends, I don't know who he is. I dream of him every day. He comes and we talk and we walk. And he's so sweet. I want to marry only him, she says. And she's every day it becomes more and more uneasy on her because she doesn't know who it is, but she's dreaming of him every day. Now her friend Chitralekha, she makes portraits. Of course, that's why the name, right? So she's very good at portraits. Now she sits her down and she says, explain how he looks. I will draw. Now she starts drawing and then there are so many devas she draws. Everybody, she kind of covers all the devas. And she says, no, 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 no for all of the drawings. Then suddenly she draws one figure and she says, that's him. That is him. Chitralekha shocked. Oh my God, this is Lord Krishna's grandson. You're going to get all of us in trouble. And why are you dreaming of him? She says, I didn't ask for him. He just came in my dream. So Chitralekha says, we are going to be in trouble. Either just erase all the dreams And I don't know what to do. She says, please. And she falls at Chitraleka's feet and she says, please help me. I need to see this boy. I need to see him. Chitraleka, with her magical powers, goes to Anirudh's chambers and kidnaps him. Literally carries him when he's asleep. He doesn't even know. When he's asleep, with her magical powers, brings him here and puts him next to her on her bed. So when he wakes up, he finds himself in a different place next to Usha. So they both see each other. And Usha is like so mesmerized seeing him. She's waiting for him to wake up. He wakes up and he sees her and he's also, obviously, he's fallen for her. She's beautiful. See how the Lord plays his Leela? Obviously, this is in Banasura's fort. Soon, Banasura's soldiers, guards, they come to know there's a stranger in the fort with a daughter, with Banasura's daughter. Banasura immediately charges there and he takes him in custody and he puts him in jail. That's it. Here, of course, Anirudh in his palace is missing. You think they'll be quiet? They're looking here and there. And then, of course, Lord Krishna knows where Anirudh is. He brings the whole army and he charges towards the palace of Banasura. Day and night, you know what Banasura does? Before he goes to sleep, he'll see the flag post if it's broken. That day, the flag post was broken. Because who's charging at him? Who's charging and coming towards Banasura's palace? Lord Krishna himself. So the flag post was broken and Banasura's like, yes, someone's coming. And he's so excited. He's ready, all set. He goes outside and Lord Shiva is like, yeah, I saw it. I see it. He's here. Enjoy. And Banasura is like, God, Lord Shiva is standing where he is. Because he's a god. He has nothing to do with this mess. He goes and there's a big fight that happens. Obviously, Lord Krishna has defeated everybody in Banasura's army. Banasura is almost there, like Lord Krishna is going to kill him when Lord Shiva comes and saves him. And Banasura realizes his mistake and falls and asks for forgiveness to the Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva for his arrogance, which put him in this situation. So after all that, obviously, they had to make peace, right? They had to get these two lovers married. So somehow they made peace and Usha and Anirudh got married. And that is where in Ukimat, that is where the Lord Kedarnath is brought every year and during the winter to be worshipped in Ukimat, Ushamat. Now about Kedarnath, a little about Kedarnath, the trek. When you go to Kedarnath, you have to trek from Gaurikund. And that's a 16 kilometers trek. A lot of them sit on mules and people carry and go. Some of them were old, can't trek, but you have to trek. And of course, there is a helicopter also, but the helicopter is only for a few months. You have to find out because the helicopter does not run in every month because of the extreme weather conditions there. But yeah, mostly it is trekking for that 16 kilometers. They say the most difficult trek because it's mostly very steep. But the whole time you hear chants, chanting of Mahadev, Lord Shiva, and it makes it more easier. It's a very steep climb. Now, we all know that there was a big flood in 2013, and a lot of people lost their lives. But do you know that the temple, nothing happened to the temple? And there were about a handful of devotees inside the temple. They were also saved. I believe a big boulder came and it stopped just about a few meters away from the temple. And that is the best thing. It's like a huge miracle. And what this boulder did was, this big boulder, this big rock, it made sure that the water was swept away from the temple. So the direction of the water was kind of, it was directed away from the temple. So the water did not hit the temple. So that boulder is still there. And it's called the Beam Shila, or the God's armor is what it's called. Now the pilgrims who ever go to Kedarnath, they pray to this boulder also. It's a very big miracle. Think about it. A little more if it had come, yeah, it would have hit the temple. But it stopped just before. So the pilgrims inside were saved. This is just happened. And that boulder, of course, if you ever go to Kedarnath, you'll see it behind the temple. Now, what are the 12 Jyothirlingams? I told you we have 12 Jyothirlingams. I'll mention to you all the 12. Somnath in Gujarat. It's Mallikarjuna in Sri Sailam. Mahakaleshwar in Madhya Pradesh. Omkareshwar in Madhya Pradesh. Kedarnath, Uttarakhand. Bhimashankar in Maharashtra. Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Uttar Pradesh. Triambakeshwar in Maharashtra. Vaidyanath in Jharkhand. Nageshwar in Gujarat. Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. And Krishneshwar in Maharashtra. So these are the 12 Jyothirlingams. There's a lot of stories we talked about today. And it was fun. I really enjoyed talking about, especially Mahabali's story, where we learned so much about that blind faith. That's what we take with us, When we read about these magnificent devotees, we take a few lessons with us about their generosity. Now, if we all know that Onam is celebrated in Kerala, right? That is also a boon that Mahabali received. Just saying it as a note, as extra information. When he gave everything that Lord Vishnu asked, Lord Vishnu gave him this boon that he asked, my people, I'm very close to my people. And his praja, that is his people, love him. Mahabali was the greatest king. He was generous. You go ask him anything, he gives. Who does that? But Mahabali did. That is why he was able to defeat Lord Indra also, and the Lord didn't do anything about it. Because the Praja were okay with him. The Praja was very happy with him. And his empire, I believe the Kerala part was his empire. So that is where they celebrate Onam. And he asked the Lord, he requested the Lord that he could come once a year and spend time with them. That is why they celebrate Onam. Even today, where they believe that their king has arrived. That's why they decorate their house. They put all that kolam outside, rangoli outside, and they light lamps. It's like a celebration. It's like welcoming their king back to that land again. So this is what Mahabali earned. This is what he earned out of that devotion that he had, blind faith that he had. And of course, we saw what Banasura did. He got everything wrong. His calculations were wrong. He thought Lord Vishnu was his enemy. In the end, what happened? He couldn't get rid of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu kind of came back. He barged in. Right? His grandson. He had to accept his grandson as his son-in-law. Banasura had to accept Lord Krishna's grandson. So, literally barged in. Right? So, we can never say no to the ultimate. He will find his way back in somehow. That's how I got it. And that's a very sweet way of putting it, I guess, at least for me. With that, we end this beautiful session. I hope you enjoyed it. Jai Nandalala Madhyali Charanam.